You must...
I expected sorrow and despair, but the situation here goes beyond even my prophet. On the surface, yes, but peace through tyranny provides false harmony. Euraxia uses fear and threats of violence to keep the Khajiit in line, making them second-class citizens in their own province. It appalls me to think Euraxia and I are related. It would be better if I showed you. Follow me, and I'll demonstrate the true depths of my half-sister's villainy. Her grip on Rimmon is far tighter. Very well. Have you ever visited a Rimmon workhouse? They treat the Khajiiti workers worse than slaves. It's that building over there. For most of Rimmon's Khajiit, it's the only job available to them. The workhouse serves to snare the poor and the destitute, those who fall behind on their debts. They come here to find employment and earn a decent wage, but the costs deducted to pay for room and board leave them worse off than they were before. One of the first things Euraxia did after declaring herself queen was to institute tariffs and fines that apply only to Khajiiti citizens. No one else needs the workhouse. A cruel tactic, but the Rimmon Khajiit? No. Any complaints incur fines for causing a public disturbance or some other inane ordinance. No one wants to risk falling even further into debt. It's ingenious. Oh, Euraxia is clever. She pays the Khajiiti, and the workhouse isn't technically a prison. On the surface, it appears to be a place that helps society's unfortunates, but underneath, it's slavery without any of the uncomfortable trappings. Now, let's visit the Rimmon marketplace. Take a look around. Business seems to be... It may be hard to see, but the Khajiiti merchants struggle to keep their stalls open, while the less bestial business people rake in the profits. Euraxia would have you believe it's a matter of work ethic, but unfairly doesn't begin to cover it. Khajiiti merchants must deal with high tariffs, extra inspection fees, costly licenses. Euraxia's squeezing them for every piece of gold imaginable. She even instituted a fur tax. On the surface, it seems reasonable to make Khajiiti pay for extra inspections to ensure their fur isn't getting into the products they sell. And while they do shed, it's just another way to discriminate against the rightful citizens of this land. Come along. I want to show you the improvements Euraxia made to the palace wall. See the trebuchets? Notice how they're aimed into the city below. See how the siege weapons sit upon the walls? When it comes right down to it, you're looking at the secret of my half-sister's success. How else do you think Euraxia maintains order and keeps the Elsweyr defense force at bay? She declared publicly, and has repeated often, that any attempt to liberate Rimmon will see her unleash the full fury of the siege weapons upon the city. If Euraxia can't have Rimmon, then neither can anyone else. She'd destroy the city in a heartbeat if she thought she was in danger of losing control. Of course, she tells her non-bestial subjects that only the Khajiit districts are targeted. Absolutely not. But the lie makes her supporters feel better. The Khajiit know that even a peaceful protest could result in the destruction of Rimmon. So far, no one has dared to challenge Euraxia's will in this matter, and for good reason. When we get to the palace, let me do the talking. As the Elder Tharn, I'll demonstrate my dominance over Euraxia and negotiate a cessation of hostilities.
Here come Queen Euraxia's guests now.
I don't like the looks of these meddlers. I say we feed them to the dragons and be done with it. I know you. I saw you through the soul-shriven's eyes. You were with the fool who thinks himself the shining knight of Sirad. If only he knew what a monster I was. The horrors of Cold Harbor pale before my heinous. I have my own head, yes. I am the hero of Sirad and the villain of Elsweyr, the champion of the Third Nedic massacre and the dark knight they call the Betrayer. Of course not. I am the genuine article, much more real than a disembodied soul given shape in the flesh cauldrons of oblivion. But why do you presume to talk to me? I have killed greater beings than you for much, much. Came to that conclusion by yourself, did you? That's what they called me. It has a certain ring to it, but I always preferred my more grandiose titles. Champion, Slayer, Dark Knight. When I am made whole, the cats will pay for one.
So you're Abner Tharn's bodyguard and valet. Not what I expected. I assume you want to follow your master into the Queen's inner sanctum, huh? I'll allow it. But first, I want to gauge the measure of your marrow. I am Queen Euraxia's chief necromancer. You may call me Sumog Foom. The other grave callers answer to me. And this is my familiar and confident. Ah, yes. The betrayer saw you when it looked through the soul-shriven's eyes. The creature you know is a pale shadow of the dark knight that once walked these lands. I exhumed his remains and reanimated him. Well, his head, it was all I could find. My actions don't concern you. I just wanted to meet Abner Tharn's lackey and determine if Queen Euraxia had anything to fear. The answer is quite clear. Your insignificance rivals that of the soul-shriven fool, which makes you eminently forgettable.
Now about the rest of my body, O pestilent one.
Presenting Abner Tharn, Grand Chancellor and Overlord of Nibonay, Imperial Battle Mage of the Elder Council, and Patriarch of the Tharn Dynasty, and his bodyguard.
Ah, half-brother. Your arrival, it's so unexceptional.
Pretending to be a queen isn't-
Hush, Abner, you bore me. Bodyguard, you look interesting. Come talk to me.
You heard her. Good luck.
My sources indicated that my half-brother's associate was somewhat taller. Oh well. Now, why in the world should I even consider negotiating with members of the losing side? A warning? How thoughtful. You do know that I defeated the Khajiit army and took control of the Rimmon throne? I am no one's puppet, I assure you. But why do you suppose I have anything to do with dragons? Sweet talk? From an associate of my half-brother? I'm flattered. Shall we retire to the dungeons? We'll engage in the most interesting activities, you and I. You'll positively beg for mercy, right? You dare threaten me? Insult me? I will see you drawn and quartered for your insolence. Mulamnir and I have an understanding. Enough! Zumog Foom, what news do you bring?
The Desert Wind Adaptorium has fallen. We move against Riverhold on your word.
Then the word is given. Now, half-brother.
Treachery? How could I ever have anticipated this?
Guard, take them to the dungeons.
I think not. Well, I suppose that could have gone better. I prepared for Euraxia's probable betrayal. Unfortunately, my teleport spell wasn't quite able to penetrate the palace wards, so we wound up down here, in the palace sewer. We heard two things of note. First, Euraxian forces have invaded the Desert Wind Adaptorium for some insidious purpose. And second, my vile half-sister ordered an attack on Riverhold. One thing at a time, my companion, one thing at a time. I need to recover my strength after teleporting us into this skeever hole. I'll need your help to get out of here. Then we can deal with both Desert Wind and Riverhold. My age is finally catching up with me. Thank you so much for poking that open wound. Magic takes a toll on the body. I've been wielding powerful forces since before you were born. There's always a cost. You'd do well to remember. Eventually. Quicker if you stop badgering me about it. My strength will return, it always does. Now get us out of this sewer so we can...
Queen wants them alive.
The way out, finally. I can't abide another moment in this stench. Well, that's an experience I won't be adding to my memoirs. We'll separate here. Make it harder for you. Now. Things actually turned out better than I expected. We know that Euraxia wants something from the Desert Wind Additorium, and we know she's about to launch a counter-strike against River. That's not exactly true. If my power wasn't depleted... Well, let's not digress. I'll go to Riverhold and warn Garishri. We'll make sure the city is ready for the attack. Meanwhile, you find out what's happening at the desert. Additoriums serve the same function as monasteries in other parts of Tamriel. Desert Wind and its adepts follow the order of Jean Kaj. It's west of here, on the northern lip of the scar. Look for a side entrance if the main door is blocked.
They say the Hagfen is safe for travel these days, but I still hate nasty, smelly water.
Hold there, poacher. One more step and my sweet boy will tear you apart. Come on, Milksop, get up. Oh, I'm sorry. Numaya grows suspicious of everyone these days. A dragon swept through recently, you see. Gobbled up whole herds of antelope and burned out the larger hunting camps. Now bone-chime poachers pitch their tents all over the prowl. We care for many rare animals. A juicy target, yes? Just yesterday, a group of them stole this one's training whistle to lure out our beasts, you see. We have little gold, but Numaya would pay you to retrieve her whistle and punish those muskars. Oh, but this one would not give to see you kick those bone-chime bastards in the teeth. Unfortunately, Numaya cannot leave her beast unguarded. Life on the ranch has made them fat and lazy, especially this one. Yes, Milksop, Numaya talks about you. Oh, yes. This one's mother's uncle's grandfather bought it from a wood elf tinsmith over 100 years ago. It's not flashy, no gold engravings or anything, but the tone it sings out is smooth and perfect as a topal pearl, a masterpiece, Walker. This one does not like to think about it. Numaya has never seen something so fearsome. Toothy jaws, claws as long as grain size, and wings so wide they blot out the sun. Cinches and jackals we can handle. A beast like that, though? Oh, not a chance. It did. Horns, hoofs, tusk, and all. What it did not eat, it burned. Somehow, Numaya's ranch was spared. Praise Alkosh. Truly, this one thinks there's nothing on Nirni that can stop a monster like that. Beautiful, yes? Numaya bought this parcel from her always drunk Uncle Baraku. He was a talented hunter when he was sober. Alas, he was never sober. Var. You should have seen it before, Walker. Broken bottles, old ragged tents. Oh, yes. Numaya placed every board, hammered every nail, and drove every post. It took 6 years, but this one thinks it turned out all right. Truthfully, building it was not so hard. Rescuing these beasts, though, oh, Zisfo, what a pain in the tail. Hunters, mostly. Well, Numaya should clarify. Careless hunters. Numaya does not fault Khajiit who eat meat. What makes this one snarl are Khajiit who strike beasts with an arrow and do not finish the job. Or trappers who never check their traps. Most. Numaya found Milksop half-starved in a dead fall pit. He frothed and roared at first, but now he just sleeps all day. Lazy, lazy, lazy. The monkey Marmalade nearly lost her hand to a snare. Sometimes this one wishes she had. They are. But Numaya loves them anyway, even on their worst day. Animals love you no matter what. Only fair that we do the same for them, yes? Thank the moons. Oh, you're back. Oh, while you set fire to the poachers' camps, they launched a raid on the ranch. We tried to fight them off, but there were just too many of them. They took my sweet boy Milksop, Honeydew, and Sugar Belly too. Surrender, curse them! In lean times, they gather in the ruins to the west, along with their literati. You destroyed their smaller encampments, so they must be there. Most of the walls collapsed centuries ago, but the ones that still stand are mountain strong. Let me think. Ah, Marmalade. This one's pet monkey, not a preserve. She's very swift and very sneaky. If you use Numaya's training whistle, the one you just recovered, she might be able to help you. My best ranch hand, El Halem, will accompany you. He has sharp eyes and knows the prowl better than most. Oh, I hope we're not too late. If something happens to this one sweet boy Milksop, oh, Numaya would never forgive herself. Well, it takes years to master whistle training, but Marmalade is very clever. If you find yourself blocked in the poacher's camp, just blow the whistle. She will find a solution. Don't expect too much of her, though. She's just a monkey, after all. Ah, this one wishes she could. Unfortunately, the poachers wounded many of my ranch hands and set fires all around. Numaya loves her animals, but she cannot let the entire ranch go up in smoke. El Halem will prove very useful, I promise. Well, it takes... My best ranch...
Honeydew! A bit high up. Maybe Marmalade can unlock it for us. Well done. Let's keep moving. Hold on, Lavender. We'll get you out. She'll find her way home. We have more work to do. Door's locked, eh? Damn. Maybe Marmalade can fit through the crack there. Ha! She did it. The door's unlocked. Let's head in. Off with you, Sugar Belly. Now, another locked door, eh? I bet Marmalade could nick a key off that drunken guard. So, he's alive! Let's set him loose! Back to the ranch, hero.
There's Numaya's favorite ranch hand. When Milksop and Sneaky Marmalade returned, this one knew you would not be far behind. Ah, they did. Numaya's sweet boy is a little shaken. Hopefully a hearty meal and a nice long chin scratch will settle his nerves, yes? You have this one's deepest thanks, Walker. Milksop's too. Say thank you. Numaya wishes she could take a break, but stalls need raking, troughs need filling. Our rancher's work is never finished. From the poachers, not long. From the dragon attack, though, who can say? Years? Your attacks on the poachers will allow honest, conscientious hunters to return to the prowl. With their help, we might be able to find a way to restore what we lost. Of course, Walker. There's nothing more wretched than a hunter with no beast to hunt. They will conserve what we have and protect what remains until the calves have calves. Only great fools would do otherwise.
Yes?
To leave possession.
No Euraxian enter this holy place.
Invaders! This one will not allow you to enter this holy place. Invaders! This one will not allow you to enter. You do not. Nine winds, no! Stick to the door. Go! Save the... Go! This one will find another way inside.
for a blade. Zumog Foom! This is the Necromancer's doing. Even in death, I continue to serve. He called it a blessing. Said it would protect me. Damn it! He claimed my soul! Please, you must help me. We came for an ancient secret, protected by the Grand Adept. She put up a good fight, I'll give her that. Zumog Foom seeks the location of the betrayer's body parts. I learned where the dismembered corpse was hidden. Now, please...
You are wrong. The secret belongs to me. What the battle mage knew in life, she whispers to me in death. Soon Riverhold will fall, and the betrayer will be restored.
Let the fourth wind open the way. Grand Adept. No. Zamorak has failed. What has happened here? Who killed the Grand Adept? Zamorak thanks you for avenging the Grand Adept. But why did they attack this peaceful Adeptorium? Why kill a harmless old student of the Desert Wind? The Usurper Queen made a mistake when she had the Grand Adept killed. Whatever they came to find had an unintended consequence. It has roused the students of the Desert Winds. Zamorak pledges the... We are not many, but we are strong. The Adepts of the Desert Wind will aid the city. Zamorak will see you there.
worth my time.
I informed Garesh-Ri and Chimera about what happened in Rimmon. They're mobilizing our remaining forces even as we speak. Now, tell me, what did you learn at the Desert Wind Adeptorium? I often wondered who Cadwell was before he became a soul shriven. I know the tales of the betrayer, but I never equated the two. The Cadwell we know is so not that. We'll deal with Zumog Foom after we save Riverhold. Well, that's a bit of welcome news. Many of the adepts have remarkable martial skills that we could surely make use of. Speaking of which, are you ready to help defend the city? For now, recover your strength and prepare yourself. Euraxia's forces will arrive soon, and we'll need you ready for the battle to come. And here, take this. Garesh-Ri keeps handing me pouches, but I have multiple Cadwells, necromancers, dragons, and now Euraxian soldiers marching on Riverhold. This day just keeps getting better and better. Regardless, there's much to do and not a lot of time to do. Yes, but Garesh-Ri's scouts report that they're on their way. Our parley seems to have aroused Euraxia's anger. What remains of Elsweyr's militia has taken up positions around town, but I fear they are too few in number. Garesh-Ri has placed the defense of the city in Chimera's hands. She moves the Desert Wind adepts, every volunteer she could muster, and what remains of the militia like pieces on a game board. Report to her, and she'll find Chimera outside and see what she requires. Euraxian soldiers will soon reach Riverhold. When that happens, all oblivion will break loose. You must have taken a more serious beating than I thought at Desert Wind. Oh, very well. After I inadvertently had some small part in releasing the dragons from the halls of Colossus, I came to Elsweyr to find a way to rectify the situation. So your memory isn't totally addled? Yes. But we discovered that the Khajiit had more to deal with than just the dragons. My half-sister, Euraxia, the usurper queen of Rimmon, has aligned with the great beasts and necromancers to... Just that Cadwell, the gallant knight of Cold Harbor, seems to be involved. Well, his physical remains, anyway. Zumog Foom seeks Cadwell the Betrayer's severed body parts in order to restore the evil knight. To what end? I have no... According to Khajiiti legend, Cadwell the Betrayer was one of the heroes who helped Kunzar-Ri imprison the dragons in the halls of Colossus. Euraxia employs the necromancer Zumog Foom and his cadre of dark mages.
you. No thief.